No January transfer signings coming in through as we anticipated because there is no money. John Mata has come out and really issued this to the Man United official website, and they've gone ahead to publish it, and that's why we're here to discuss about it and see why he obviously traveled to Saudi Arabia to obviously discuss certain deals of players of Manchester United that can possibly leave in the January transfer window. And it means to get in a player, we have to sell to buy. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Second video of the day, and hope you guys are really doing really fine where you are. And I'm here to obviously bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is concerned. As far as Man United it is, smash the like button close to 100 times, and don't forget to obviously come in through and really subscribe to our user-friendly and content that we obviously put in through onto this YouTube channel. And hope you guys are really doing fine, right? And it's a Tuesday, and you know on Saturday we are obviously playing again against West Ham, and it's gonna be a huge game with lots of players linked to Man United in the summer transfer window. It looks like the director of football for Man United has come out and obviously revealed the real gist of the matter of as to why we are not going to sign players, and why you guys shouldn't be very optimistic of us really getting in players. Should we call it preparing us for the bad news, or they want to surprise us? You know, they might have gone ahead to put out this article to see to it that Sir Jim Ratcliffe really moves on, and see to it that his name obviously gets hailed by Man United fans because of coming out and really overturning everything that football director has gone ahead to say. But he's speaking about the club of Manchester United in the situation we are into right now. He has told us that looking at the January transfer window, we don't expect it to be particularly busy. There will always be opportunities, particularly in finding opportunities for players who aren't playing as much as they would like it. John Mata at United Fans Forum last week, he also added, however, we have always been consistent in saying that we do not consider January to be the best time to do business, and that our recruitment strategy remains focused onto the summer transfer windows. And this is where I disagree with them. This is where I disagree with them. First and foremost, you cannot tell us that you don't really think January is the best time to do business. Is this guy really knowing what he's doing? You know, I can really bring you up to speed. When Sir Jim Ratcliffe was here in 2022, that is from November to June, he told them to only spend like 30 million euros to get in players. And it was not for United to go all out and really get in that money from their pockets. There was a player called Jesse Lingard that Newcastle and West Ham were willing to buy for £30 million. They failed to sell the player. They didn't renew the contract of the player, and the player found himself really living on a free. And 40 million euros, the guy that is by then the interim manager of Man United had proposed for us to go in for Boba Kamara, 5 million euros from Marseille. He was there and he crossed to Aston Villa. Then there was Julian Alves, and he could go for only 18 million euros. That would have been 23 million euros, remaining with 17. And he had told them to go for Conrad Lema, you know, or Enzo Fernandez, who would have gone ahead to cost us 30 million euros. 13 more million euros were needed. But the board of Man United really failed to do that, and they really looked very, very naive. And I don't really agree with him that it's not good to do business in January. And who says that? Who says that? Look at other competitors that are really, look at other teams that are really ahead of us. They are going to do business in January. Arsenal is going to do business in January. They've already pointed on Ivan Toney. They've pointed on Pedro Neto. They've pointed on to this other guy, Douglas Luiz. 3 quality players. Arsenal is pointing on them, and trust me, either one or two will cross to the side of Arsenal. You know, we go to Liverpool. They are in for Paulinho. They want a central defensive midfielder in their team. They want one immediately. You get? Look at Aston Villa. They are pointing at 2 or 3 players to strengthen their squad you know, to see to it that they really find themselves in better positions to obviously compete, you know, for the top 4 spots of the league. Then you go to Manchester City. They might do business in January, you know, because of how things are really moving on at the side of Manchester City. And it's very naive to be having a person who you call the head of all football matters at the club of Man United not knowing what this game of football is all about. He's naive. He tells you it's not good to do business in the January transfer window. And who says that? Who says that? Is there any competent CEO who says that? School me, guys. Sorry, is there any competent is there any competent director of football, sporting director of a club who says that? Tell me, school me. I might be naive about certain things, but trust me, there is no competent CEO who will obviously come in through and really tell you that we've gone ahead to make up a decision that it's not good to do business during January. And where do you get that? Where do you get that? Then why did this club go in for Diego Dallo, Lindelof, and Fred in the January transfer windows? Why did they go for them? Yet you are there also, one of the people that was making decisions on who to sign. And you sign them permanently. And I think it's only under Eric Ten Hag that we've gone ahead to go ahead and really gotten in January transfer signings. That we've gone ahead to get in January transfer signings on loan. You know? When did Alex Sanchez join the club of Manchester United? I think it was January, not so? So this guy is trying to obviously not respect the fans of Man United. How would you come out and say that? You would have gone ahead and said, we will work out a formation and see whether the financial fair play rules will obviously lead us to where we deserve to be. They've gone ahead and affected us, but we are working hard to see to it that we strengthen the squad, to see to it that we be where Manchester United is supposed to be. You know, what they're doing is they don't want to spend money in the January transfer window, and they send that money in the summer transfer window for us to spend it there. Is it going to be of any use? Because have they thought of us missing out on the Champions League football? No. So they are really doing a very bad job, because Ten Hag needs Todibo. He needs a more young, energetic, press-resistant defender in that central defense who is young. That is Todibo. He needs Todibo. You know, the guy is called Gurasi, right? I think he's known as Gurasi. You know, he needs him. Now, what is the plan of Man United? That they are focused on the summer. That is stupid. And this shows you that all what we've gone ahead to let you know about this guy that is incompetent is right. He's incompetent. That's why he doesn't want to face the media. He doesn't want to do interviews like Begiristan of Man City does, like Edu of Arsenal does, you know? The Decos of Barcelona, they come out and face the media and talk to it and will explain to them exactly what their thoughts are about why they're not going to hate to go for certain players. You get? But for him, he's not speaking. The CEO does not speak. So, we should really move on from such people. You can't tell me that we're having Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming in the club of Man United and you cannot really find ways of us really bringing in players. It shows you that you are not good at your job. You know, we have players that are really moving out. You get? Jadon Sancho is going to move out. Donny van de Beek is already in Germany to undergo his medical. Anton Martial might move out. And tell me what happens if I told you sell Anton Martial. You know, who are you going to leave Eric Ten Hag with? Nobody. That is really very insane. And to me, I just find myself keeping shut because I might lose it and really find myself emptying my tongue into utterances that won't obviously be good to this guy, John Mata. And that's why we don't want him to be the sporting director or director of football at Man United. We need a better sporting director who's going to hate obviously do business and he knows exactly what to do. Then we've been told by Matt Huggs that Man United transfer chief John Mata flies to Saudi Arabia for talks as club put Casemiro, Rafael Varane, Jadon Sancho and Anton Martial up for sale in consider to raise funds. So they're raising funds for what? Why are they raising funds for? Because first and foremost, if Jadon Sancho leaves, United is going to really get a loan fee of like £5 million, and they'll be saving close to £5 million, meaning that £10 million will be saved. Right? So if Anton Martial leaves, they would have gone ahead to save, they would have gone ahead to get in what we call the asking fee or selling price, money. And he's earning £1 million per week. You know, that means for the last 6 months of the month, those are £6 million for Anton Martial. And when you add on the amount of money they can sell him for like, I think £20 million. You get? So that means they can get close to £30 million from Anton Martial. You know, that is the selling price or the selling money plus the salary saved. When you add it to that of Sancho, those are £40 million. So on Casemiro and Varane, I'm not really sure about United releasing them, but I think if one is sold, like let me say Rafael Varane, he earns £1.2 million a week times 6, that is 7. So that means United can save close to £50 million, and it's written all over the world that this is what they want to do: save the £100 million or the £60 million and add it onto the amount of money you need to do business in the summer transfer window, and don't sign in anyone. And they're using this as a leverage to see to it that they get into the heads of United fans that we are out of Europe, we don't need a very huge squad, and this squad can obviously take us down. Now, we started to get injuries at the beginning of the season, even before we started playing 2 games per week. You understand? What if we find ourselves getting injuries like we used to do? What are we gonna do? So I don't believe in everything that they are really saying. All we need to do is that Sancho is leaving, Donny van de Beek is leaving, Martial is leaving. Bring in Guirassy for Martial, because the amount of money used to sell Martial, you should go ahead and bring in Guirassy, but don't save it to obviously use it in the summer, because it won't be really helping us. Let's strengthen the squad for the remaining 6 months of the season, because I have an insane thought in me that Man United can obviously come in through and obviously get into the title race. Trust me, if that squad of Man United is playing 1 game per week, it can go and it can be unbeaten for very many games, because the same intensity that we put up will be rested for a week and then recharge those batteries. Then 7 days later, we really put up a show. Like for example, if you're having Andre Onana, Dalot right back, Luke Shaw left back, Lisandro Martinez, Rafael Varane the central defense, Casemiro, Amrabat, and Bruno Fernandes midfield 3. Then Anthony right attacking midfielder, Garnacho left attacking midfielder, and Rasmus Højlund leading the line. That being your starting 11. Then the bench, you have Kobe Menu, you have Anton Martial, you have Marcus Rashford, you have Amad Diallo, Harry Maguire, John Evans, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Sergio Reguilon, you get Ericsson. So that squad can really take us into what we call a title race, because Arsenal is having 39 points and United is having 28, meaning that Arsenal is 11 points ahead of Man United. And if I'm to bring you up to speed on what happened last season, Arsenal reached an extent when they're 11 points ahead of Man City. You know, they even had a chance when I think they had like 2 games in hand, and if they went ahead to win them, they would have gone ahead to go 14 points. But those games in hand went ahead not to go on well. So Arsenal is going to lose other games. And remember, Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, you know, are coming to Old Trafford, meaning that if you beat them, that means that will be to 8. And they can't really win every game. Like Arsenal is going to play Liverpool over the weekend, you know. If they draw and we win, that means they would have gone ahead to add one more point, like they'll be at 40 points, and Man United will be at 31, meaning that we'll be 9 points off the table leaders. So I really still have that dream, and I don't want that dream to die off. So guys, what are your thoughts about confirmation coming in from John Mata that no January transfer signings? You know, the January transfer signs of Man United hanging in balance. What are your thoughts about it? A sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Rock and David remains my name. I'm out.